Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. The bold and the beautiful spoilers document that Luna Nozowa flew into Los Angeles, California, and appeared to be sweet as summer. Eventually, in one of the greater twists in recent B&B memory, she was revealed as a double murderer who tried to frame her mother. Luna's relationship with R.G. Forrester still lingers. He's never had closure, and neither has his cousin, Zende Forrester. Thankfully, they restored their familial bond. Viewers likely want Luna's storyline revisited. Scenes in the jailhouse visitor room need to happen, potentially including a corded phone with glass between her and a visitor. This story never wrapped. It climaxed and then was shelved. Poor Poppy Nozowa. She lived a restless life, winking at B&B's sister show, The Young and the Restless, and paid an unnecessarily harsh price for doing so. It was a stunner to her, every character, and the audience to see just how much Luna loathed her mother. The claims made about her horrible childhood seemed bratty rather than real. Poppy was so devoted to her daughter that Luna took it for granted. Rather than admire her toughness and resiliency, Luna degraded her mother to such an extent that she wanted to punish her by orchestrating a lifetime prison sentence. Thankfully, a reveal and justice prevailed. Enough time has passed that a pregnancy would be digestible. In contrast to Luna's moralizing about Poppy, she used R.G. and Zende for manipulated romantic purposes. It's clearly possible that Luna could have either cousin's child. The stunner about setting up Zende at his place on the Forrester property surely means he could be the dad, assuming she is pregnant. However, having R.G. as the father of Luna's baby would be the more unexpected revelation. Of course, a pregnancy storyline would likely keep Yamada's character in the show into at least next spring. Nozowa played her character to the hilt. Few can claim to have guessed she was the killer before Luna began kissing Bill Spencer. Major kudos to TPTB for this casting, the actor for her work, and the writing staff for crafting a mega surprise to what was a summer thriller. Yet Luna doesn't have to be part of the past. Why not continue her story by employing the pregnancy storyline referenced above? This would match past plot lines and be believable. If not that, other creative measures could be taken to keep Luna in the show, even if it's just through sporadic prison visits. Of course, she could also have unknown ties to other characters. Additionally, an escape would also be worth the watch. It was a crisp autumn morning in Los Angeles, and Spencer Publications' gleaming skyscrapers sparkled under the early sunlight. R.G. Forrester, son of Ridge Forrester and Brooke Logan, stood on the top floor, sipping his coffee while gazing out at the city's chaotic beauty. For the past few months, R.G. had been quietly working on his design aspirations, determined to carve out his own path beyond the overwhelming Forrester legacy. Yet there was a restlessness in him, as if some missing piece was just out of reach. Little did he know, that missing piece was about to walk back into his life in a way he never expected. Zende Forrester Dominguez's smooth voice pulled R.G. from his thoughts. Zende had become R.G.'s closest ally at Forrester Creations. As cousins, their connection had always been strong, but lately they'd bonded even more, pushing each other to experiment with bold new designs. Both young men shared a hunger for success. R.G. wanted to prove himself without his family's shadow, and Zende aimed to elevate his own fashion identity. Just thinking, R.G. mumbled, shaking his head. Zende smirked knowingly. About her, R.G. stiffened, realizing that his cousin could still read him too well. He didn't need to ask who Zende was referring to. Luna Prescott, the mysterious, free-spirited woman who had once been a part of R.G.'s life. She'd blown through town like a summer storm, shaking up everything in her path. When she left Los Angeles months ago without so much as a goodbye, she took a part of R.G. with her. He hadn't spoken about her to anyone, but her absence gnawed at him. The first whispers of Luna's return began that same morning at Forrester Creations. Steffi and Thomas were huddled near the design boards, discussing an upcoming show, when one of the assistants burst in with a piece of news. "You won't believe who I just saw outside," the assistant said breathlessly. Luna Prescott. Steffi raised a perfectly arched brow. What is she doing back in LA? Thomas folded his arms, intrigued. And why now? Luna had always been a wild card, a force of nature who could charm a room with her smile but disappear just as quickly. Her exit had left many questions unanswered, especially for RG, who'd kept his feelings bottled up. Now, her sudden reappearance sent ripples through Forrester Creations, igniting curiosity and speculation among the family. But for RG, it was more than idle gossip. Later that day, RG decided to clear his head and visit a cafe near the Forrester offices. As he sat down with a sketchbook and a latte, the door swung open, and the familiar jingle of the bell signaled someone's arrival. Luna Prescott stood in the doorway, her dark wavy hair framing her face, eyes sparkling with the same mischief he remembered. She wore an oversized leather jacket over a floral dress, a juxtaposition that was unmistakably her, edgy and whimsical all at once. For a moment, RG could only stare, frozen in disbelief. Luna's lips curled into a sly smile. "Long time no see, RG." RG stood up awkwardly, his heart racing. "Luna, what are you doing here?" She shrugged nonchalantly, as if her sudden reappearance was no big deal. "I missed LA, thought I'd check in on some old friends." Friends, RG thought bitterly. That's all he'd ever been to her, a friend. Or so she made it seem before she vanished. But the electricity between them hadn't faded. It still buzzed in the air, making his skin tingle. "I heard you've been working on your designs," Luna continued, sitting down across from him. "That's impressive. I always knew you had talent." "Thanks," RG said, trying to sound casual, though his heart was still thundering. "But you didn't come back just to compliment me, did you?" Luna gave him a playful grin. "No, not just that." As the two caught up, Luna revealed bits and pieces of her life since she left Los Angeles. She'd been traveling, immersing herself in new cultures, and exploring different artistic mediums. But she danced around the question of why she was really back. Something about her story didn't sit right with RJ. She was holding something back, and he could sense it. Meanwhile, Zende had also heard the news of Luna's return. While RG wrestled with his unresolved feelings, Zende sensed an opportunity, not just for his cousin, but for the fashion house. "Luna has a unique eye," Zende told RG that evening. "She sees the world differently. If we can channel that into our designs, it could take us to the next level." RG frowned. "You want her involved at Forrester?" "Why not? She's talented, and she has a vibe we could use." RG couldn't deny that Zende had a point. Luna's presence could inject something fresh into their collection, but working with her meant opening old wounds and risking new ones. Over the next few days, Luna's involvement with Forrester Creations became inevitable. Steffi and Zende saw the potential in her, and even Thomas was curious to see what she could bring to the table. But for RG, it wasn't just about business. Every moment spent with Luna felt like balancing on the edge of a knife. They'd work on sketches late into the night, bouncing ideas off each other. RG found himself laughing more than he had in months, but there were also moments when the unspoken tension between them became almost unbearable. One evening, after a particularly intense brainstorming session, Luna leaned closer to RG, her voice soft. "I know I hurt you when I left." RG swallowed hard, not sure how to respond. "Why did you leave, Luna?" "I never understood." Luna looked down, tracing patterns on the edge of her notebook. "I had to figure out some things, about myself, about what I want. I didn't want to drag you into my mess." RG's heart twisted. You didn't have to do it alone. For a moment, silence hung between them, heavy with things left unsaid. Then Luna placed her hand over RG's, giving it a gentle squeeze. "I'm here now," she whispered. "Maybe this time I'll stay." The road ahead. Luna's return marked a turning point, not just for RG, but for Zende and the entire Forrester team. With her unconventional perspective, their designs began to evolve, blending structure and spontaneity in ways that felt both bold and beautiful. But as the lines between professional and personal blurred, RG and Luna found themselves at a crossroads. Could they trust each other enough to build something real this time? Or would the past pull them apart again? And through it all, Zende stood by RG's side, offering guidance and support. Together, they were forging something new, a partnership that could redefine their futures. In the city of dreams, where love and ambition often collide, RG and Zende were ready to take their shot. But the real question remained, was Luna finally ready to stay? Or would she disappear once more, like a beautiful illusion slipping through their fingers? Only time would tell.